crypto tech update on Kaspa, XRP, Internet Computer, Litecoin, and Supra. Most crypto videos only talk about prices, but what really matters is what's happening behind the scenes. While the market fluctuates, many projects are developing their technology on a massive scale. That's why in recent weeks there have been important technical upgrades and exciting new features. Here are the most important developments from the past 30 days. Anyone who wants to analyze cryptocurrencies in the long term needs to understand what's happening technically. New releases, protocol updates, but also security updates. These things determine how strong a project really is in the long run. That's why today we're taking a look at 5 altcoins and what technical changes they've made recently. Let's start with Kaspa. Kaspa is currently continuing to work on the technical development of its protocol and node software. Ongoing improvements are documented on the official development page, which can also be tracked directly on GitHub, for example. At the same time, the community is discussing a possible future hard fork upgrade. This upgrade is often described as a covenant-centric hard fork. The focus here is on new Layer 1 features such as native assets, extended covenants, and possible integration of zero-knowledge verification. The goal is to significantly expand the functionality of the Kaspa blockchain. Let's move on to XRP. There have recently been several technical upgrades to the XRP Ledger. In February 2026, a security report was published. This concerned a potential vulnerability in the so-called badge amendment. In response, the software Ripplet version 3.1.1 was released. This version replaces the previous version, and the previous version is thus deactivated. A serious bug that was discovered here needs to be fixed. Already on the 18th of February, there was also a GPG key rotation for signing the Ripple packages. In other words, node operators must accept new keys, otherwise automatic updates may fail. Let's move on to Internet Computer. At Internet Computer, several infrastructure updates were introduced at the beginning of February. Dfinity presented new advances in the global R&D update. An important tool is the ICP CLI. It is currently in the final beta phase. Another major feature is Canister Migration on the mainnet. This means that smart contract canisters will be able to be moved between subnets in the future. The important properties are preserved in the process: canister ID, state, cycles, and the configuration. In addition, the network continues to document its coordinated upgrade mechanism for nodes. This is based on registry updates, replica updates, upgrades, and the so-called catch-up packages. Let's move on to Litecoin. There was also a technical upgrade for Litecoin. The Litecoin Core 0.212 version was released as the MENA release. The focus is primarily on security improvements. A key change concerns the memory management of the nodes. With extremely high network traffic or very slow peers, memory usage can now be better controlled. This especially protects nodes in particular, on weaker hardware from so-called out-of-memory errors. Additionally, changes have been made to the RPC interface. Among them are the new RPC command add connection, new tracking fields in get peer info, and these help developers and node operators monitor the network. Let's move on to Supra. Supra is also continuing to develop its infrastructure. A key point is the SupraEVM. This enables an EVM-compatible environment in addition to the existing MoveEVM. This means the network supports 2 different virtual machines. Technically, the architecture is based, among other things, on SupraSTM for parallel transaction execution and moonshot consensus for greater scalability. Additionally, the project is working on SupraNova. This is a cross-chain communication protocol for direct Layer 1 communication. The idea is to create a cross-chain infrastructure with as few bridges as possible, which is currently being tested in the testnet. While the market often only looks at prices, the technology continues to develop in the background. Kaspa is working on the new Layer 1 functionality. The XRP Ledger is responding to security requests and improving its infrastructure. Internet Computer is expanding its smart contract flexibility. Litecoin is strengthening the security of its nodes. And Supra is building a scalable multi-VM architecture with cross-chain communication. These technical developments show what the projects are really working on. And it is precisely these developments that determine, in the long run, which networks can truly prevail. If you'd like to watch the analysis on Supra or Kaspa, I'll link them up here now. Have fun with it and see you in the next video.